Hey guys, my name is Reaygun and welcome to this Assassin's Creed Origins video. So, today we had another IGN first video where they talk about the combat from Assassin's Creed Origins. Now, like I say, this is a part of IGN first, so the full video is on their channel and I suggest you go and watch it, but I'm going to go through the main details that I spotted. So, the first thing they talk about is comparing the combat from Black Flag, where it was a paired animation system. So you would be able to like fly across 10 meters just to like kill an enemy. The animation would pair up with someone, it'd play the animation, they would die, and then next thing, you know, you're free and you can go and kill another enemy in the same way. Now they've moved off of this system to a hitbox-based system, which is a lot better. And then they've talking about how they've got ranged, speed, position, and the enemies and their weapons like all affect how you play the game and what happens in combat, which is very nice to see. Then they also go on to talk about the different attacks, how you've got your light attack and your heavy attack. Now each one can combo from the other one, and you know, like you normally have like light attack, heavy attack, you've got all your combos like that, which is nice. You also tend to do bonus damage to enemies that are knocked down, or enemies that you hit from behind. Then with your shield, you can knock an enemy down, and you can also parry if you time it correctly with the shield. So that means when the enemies come to attack you, you attack them back. So people who are a big fan of For Honor and good at parrying in that game will probably be good in doing it in this game as well. And then there's a thing called Fury Mode, where it will unleash this huge heavy attack that will just wreck anyone in the way, or it will give you 10 seconds where Bayek will just unleash hell on all the enemies there. Then they go on to talk about 8 different categories of main weapons, where you've got dual swords, regular swords, heavy blades, spears, scepters, heavy blunt, and sickle swords. And each one has a different range, speed, or power on the weapon. And now, notice how I said 8, but they only showed us 7 in the video, so I don't know what the last one is. Maybe it's the shield, who knows. But then they also have the bows in the video, and there's 4 categories of bows. The first bow is the warrior bow, which is more like a shotgun as they described, so you can shoot multiple arrows. Good at short range, not very good at a long distance. You've got your light bow, which is apparently more like your rapid fire bow, like an Uzi or a fast firing pistol. You've got your predator bow, which is more of your sniper bow, and then you've got your hunter bow, which is more of a classic bow that you know from most games. And then of course you have different enemy types that they talk about as well. The first one they talk about are brutes, which are big, slow, and damaging. You've got your supers, which are like commanders, and other enemies in the area will like cheer their commanders on and respect them, so they'll hold back a little bit and not attack you, and like support their commander when you're fighting it. But if you get close enough to the enemies, they'll of course come in and try to hit you. And then you've got these predators. Now the predators are basically enemy assassins, and they will not like to fight you from the front. They'll hide, they'll knock you down, they'll make you stagger, they'll use smoke bombs, all sorts of nonsense that you probably use in these combats just to get a hand up on you and wreck you with your own techniques. Then they go on to talk about bosses. Now let me tell you now, the bosses in this game sound amazing. They all have their own personalities. One even makes a joke about your mother at one point in the video, so go and check that out. But you can find them in your main quest, roaming around the world, your side quests, and it's really exciting to see that they've gone with this way for the combat to make it more exciting. Then they've also got another mode called Arenas, where it existed in Egypt back in the day because the Greeks brought it over to Egypt. And you fight waves of enemies, then a boss. And the introduction to this is in the actual main quest, but then they start off like in small areas, and then they'll get into colosseums, arenas, huge places where people will be watching and there'll be crowds, and then of course the bosses will have their own personality, because they like to be cheered on by the crowd. And then this can also range to like different areas, like I said. They can have certain weapons you're allowed to use, like bows only, maybe sickle swords only. There'll be traps, animals, different enemies, all sorts of things in these arenas so everyone's always like a new challenge for you as a player and more exciting, so it's not always the same thing, so you actually want to do it. Then they go on to tell you about the rewards from these arenas and how it can be different armor, different skins, different weapons, different things that just make you want to actually play the game out. So if you want to go into these arenas, if you're a player who likes it, then the option's there for you, so you're not always forced to just do it, which is a nice thing to see. So they've actually upped the combat system from Assassin's Creed, and it's a lot better now. I love the fact that they've got this new hitbox system, and it looks fantastic. So guys, that's it from me today. Like I said, go check out the IGN video, click the card, or just click in the description and check it out. It's a full 8-minute video. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, go ahead and click like below, and also subscribe to keep up to date with my content. I'll see you again in the future. Peace.